Today we're going to install the Claude Code and see how to use it locally without paying to Anthropic. So let's get started. First you need your IDE to open. For me it's IntelliJ, and then you need to open the terminal. If you don't have the terminal here, you can use Alt F12, or you can come here in the view and find the terminal here, which is here. In the terminal I have already installed Git Bash, so if you don't have Git Bash, or if you want it, or if you want any other terminal, you can just install your favorite terminal and you can go Control Alt S. It opens the settings of IntelliJ. For in your IDE it might be different, whatever it is your IDE. Then here you can just write terminal. Here is the tool. In the tools terminals you can here select your favorite terminal that you want. By default in IntelliJ it's PowerShell, but as you see I have changed it to Git Bash. So let's come back to the Git Bash. What do we want to do and what do we need? First let me explain it before we jump into it. We want to install the Claude Code and we want to use it locally. We do not want to use any of Anthropic services. Why do we need that in first place? Claude Code is a very good agentic coding tools, and it has all the agents ready for you in the Claude Code. You do not need to write those agents yourself, you just need to use them. But the model itself behind it, that's the problem. That makes Claude expensive, not the agents. The agents are just a software written in every lovely languages like Python, Java, TypeScript, whatever. So we need to reroute the Claude Code to use our local AI model. To do that we need to install the Claude Code and the Claude router. First let me install the Claude Code. Before I install the Claude Code, you need to share about something, that you have npm installed on your PC, because Claude Code needs Node.js 18+. If you don't have Node.js 18+, you need first to install the Node.js, and then you can continue whatever command we are here doing. So let me install. That's nice, everything installed. If you have previous version of Node.js or any library, here it will tell you and you need to update them. It is better to do it, but for now Claude Code has been installed. We need to install now the router. So we install the router. Nice, router is installed as well. So let's check the both to see if they are installed. Perfect, Claude is installed. Now we check the router. Perfectly fine, the router is installed as well. So what we need to do now is to make a new folder. Inside that folder put every settings that we need for our router config, and that's how we change the router from Anthropic to our local. So let's make the folder. That's fine, it's already created. Everything you see here you can just copy paste it. I will also paste them in the description of this video. You can copy them from there. All you need to do is to change the model name, to change the context window if you want to, if your API key you need to change, and URL of your application server that connects to the model. And as you see, we are in the OpenAI compatible and not the Anthropic compatible. The reason is in lmstudio I found it Anthropic compatible, not so reliable as the OpenAI compatible endpoints. So we're just gonna continue with OpenAI compatible endpoint. So it's not connecting to OpenAI or anything else. It's just the endpoint that our lmstudio use to receive an answer. So it's nothing a problem. What you need to here is to just Control O, enter, Control X. Now that we have this, we can just open our router, which is CCR code. Now you have your Claude Code ready, but there is one thing. Here is written Opus 4.8 API usage billing. Should I be worried? No, you don't. Because we already have our router and it will not send the request to Anthropic, and it will send request to our local AI. One thing you need to be aware of, if you have Claude Code Desktop and you open that, it will count all the token you have used using your local AI model. What you need to be aware of, Anthropic will not and cannot billing you for using your local AI model. So you do not need to panic. Once you see your local AI model has used like 10 million tokens in your Claude Code Desktop, you do not need to panic. Everything is fine. So let me load my model and then we have to start the test. One thing I have to notice, when I test, I have to stop the recording because this is the third time I'm recording, and every time I send a request and it goes to my local AI, my recording software stopped recording because it uses all the possible memory in my graphic card, so it doesn't have any room for the recording software. So I'm going to tell you something. Whatever I write here and send the enter, if you have lmstudio and you open the lmstudio here, instead of reading, you see the prompt processing. Once you see the prompt processing, you know that you are not going to get billed by Anthropic and it's going to run on your local AI. Unfortunately, I have to stop the recording to send this request, and then we see what's the result. So the requests are over, and we can check the result, but before that let me just eject the model before it explodes my laptop. And let's go back to IntelliJ. As you see, if you're not using the 27B parameter, you're not going to get the best result, and some of them have, the smaller model have a problem with understanding the tools. So in some points it's not going to be perfect. That's the problem with the Claude Code CLI. But as you see, I have given a class to him, and it could finally explain to me everything about this class. And yeah, I can just write any change I want in this class and it will does the change for me. But again, this is just a 4 billion parameter. It is not going to do anything perfect. If you have the 9 billion of Quen 3.5 or even the better one, Qwen 3.6, 27 billion parameter, you are going to have some fun with Claude CLI. But not with the 4 billion parameter, of course. Yep, that's it. And that's everything you needed to know about Claude Code and how to use it locally. You may wonder about this Jarvis project. I'm going to explain this later. I'm going to have a special video for this one, but I'm not going to exactly tell you when I'm going to publish that. There are many more things that I have to explain first before I jump back into my Jarvis project. So that's it, and thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and as always, thank you for watching.